Recording. Good. Okay, so we had this this rig we did the other day. Let's see if I can find it. Let's go. Something like this. And of course you can you can change it any way you like. If you think it has like a very wide stance, you can like move things in or adjust it a little bit. Of course it's better if it's symmetrical, so 1.5, and this one should be minus 1.5, 1.5, something similar, minus 1.5, okay. So now the proportions are perhaps a little nicer. If we just, I hold the shift key and press this plus sign in the outliner, you can see I get the whole hierarchy. So I'm going to do what's called inverse kinematics, and the nice thing about inverse kinematics is that it will have like a start joint and an end joint, or something called an end effector. And when you move that, it will control all of the rotations in between, so that it will still reach the location. I'll just make an example here. Just pop to right view and grab my joint tool, and then I'll do like a robotic arm, something like this. Okay? So if we say that I wanted this thing to go over here, I would have to go through all of these joints and rotate them. That takes time. Can somebody open the door? But if I use what's called an IK handle, this button here, or in the skeleton, create IK handle, what I do is I click on one end. It doesn't matter if it's this, or it could be somewhere in between. But remember to click on like the outline, the wireframe. So there, and there. So now it draws this rubber band thing along the joints to show what is affected. You can also see it turns purple. And then it draws this rubber band from the start joint to the end effector. And the way it works is that if I move this, it will control all of these in between. So okay, so if you don't like spiders, then don't look. What is even more fun is that if I just move this by default, it just moves as a whole. But if I grab my IK handle, and you can see it has this little line here, I should not the joint, do not select the joints, the IK handle. If I keyframe that, then if I move the rest of the thing, it will stick until I move so far away that it cannot stick anymore. So this is perfect for creating walking characters. I just want to say this again, don't click the joint, don't move the joint, it will make stuff fuck up. Things will go weird. We don't like weird like this. So, see, now I destroyed it. Yeah. So it's important that you never click the joints where you have the IK handle. Thankfully, Maya set up what's called selection priority. So if you do a selection box over some joints, it will select the joints. But if you do a selection box over a mixed set of objects, some objects will have priority. So if I do it over the joints and the IK handle, you can see Maya will only select the IK handle because that has selection priority.
Exactly.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Dum dum da dum. So yeah, that's a short explanation of IK handles. Actually, what you can do, you You can do these in like mixed setups. You can do things like this, so that you have multiple IK chains. So you have this one in here that moves that, and then you have this one out here that moves that. So you can do funny things. So let's get rid of all of this. Okay. So what we want to do is to set this up in the legs of this character. Just go IK, click on the hip and on the foot. And just to show that it's the same thing, on the other one I'll click the foot and the hip. The reason why it doesn't matter with the ordering here is that it goes by the hierarchy structure. So joints that are closer to the top of the hierarchy will be like the start joint, and joints closer to the end of the hierarchy, or the leaves of the hierarchy, will become the end effector. So this is what we are going to use right now, and nothing else. There is one small thing about these IK handles. By default, and I'll just open the attribute editor, you can use the tabs or press Ctrl A to switch. An IK handle like this has certain attributes. It has what's called an IK solver. And the solver is the little piece of code that controls how this works. This is what's called a single chain solver. And it works pretty good until some certain time where it does weird stuff. Actually, this works pretty good right now. God damn it. Okay. Maybe we should just wait until things break. Well, the thing is, this is a simple IK handle where you can do certain things to control it, but there's also what's called a rotate plane solver. And for knees, you typically want this. What you get here is this little thing at the top that tells you what way the knee or the bend should be pointing. So at some points, you will get what's called a flip. See how the knee flips? Because I move across the baseline. So what I can do with the rotate plane solver is I can press T, and then I can move this pole vector that controls where the knee should be pointing. So that is something you typically want so that you can fix things when they go wrong. That is, you can turn it on at any point in time, so it's not a big problem. But you should know it's there, and I'll just turn it on for both my joints from the start. Yeah. Good. It's really hard to see, isn't it? Because it's a weird brown color. Let's just change the background color a little bit. Let's see. Window settings, preferences, color settings, 3D views. Is it better now? Oh, now you can't see the top. Now you can see it. Good. We'll just use that. Okay, so to make it walk, I'll pop to my left view, just like the grid is really annoying. No worries, we'll figure it out. Display, grid, options, grid lines, subdivision lines. There we go, good. So now we have our skeleton here. And the way we're going to use it is we're going to move these to the side. So I take this, move it down. See, it goes through the floor. Oh, yeah, left view. Maybe it's too wide. It's too wide. I get a headache. Don't you, Peter? Nothing. No. So we'll just leave it at this. This is good. This is sort of good. Good. So anyway, I moved the pelvis down a little bit, so just to prepare it for being at the contact position. And then I take one foot and I move it over here, almost stretched, not entirely stretched. Want it to be like nearly there. And the other one, I move the other direction, and I want the same thing. Totally stretched knees sort of tend to give you weird looking stuff. Good. So this time, to keyframe something that has an IK handle, you only keyframe the IK handle. There, key, and then of course the pelvis joint. There we go. So that was frame 1. Just set this to 25, pop over to 25, keyframe the same again, key, key, key. Okay, so now I just have the same pose twice. Pop to 13, do the opposite thing, move it over there, put a key there, take this one, move it the other way, set a key there, remember to keyframe the pelvis. So now I have the basic, whoa. Then the next thing is of course 7, where we're going to have the passing position. So that will be here. So lift this a little bit, maybe make it lag slightly, and then just take the pelvis up like so. There we go. And we take 19, exactly the same thing. Move this up a little bit, maybe move it back, put a key in that, and move the pelvis up. Yeah, so not too bad. And of course, as you saw in the drawing from the book that I showed you the other day, let's just find that one. What we can do is put this in between, so we have frame 1 and frame 7. So if we put that at frame 4, so this would be at 4, right? And this is 13, so this would be at 16, right? To make this work. So let's try and make this down position, just to make it a little more interesting. So we go to 4, and then we take him down a little bit, like so. What did it look like? So he actually has his foot down there, and that looks, maybe the foot here should lag a little more, but never mind that. And the same thing over here, 3, 16, and move that down a little bit there. And then we wanted this to be, here he should be more there, and the same thing here, more. Yeah, let's see what we have. Not too bad. Let's add the arms. Again, same thing. We will do exactly the same as we did the other day. Woo, woo! I can fly. There. And frame 1. Just move this back, yes, and this one forward. Yeah. Key, 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 key. So I have it at 1 and 25. Remember what frame 1 and frame 25 is basically the same frame. It's just the start of 2 different cycles. So when I play this back, I should actually change my frame range to 24, because right now when I'm playback, I'm actually getting 1 and 25, so I get the same frame twice. It's kind of wrong, but our eyes somehow accept it. There. and there. Let's see, something like that. Okay, so let's see how this works. Not too bad. He has stiff arms, so we can do the thing with the where we break the joints. There. And 13 there, and then just move forward a few, just let it lag a little bit, and then just take this and then let it lag a little bit there. Good. And the other one, the same thing. Key, key, key. And there we should lag it a little bit, and here we should lag it a little bit. So let's see how that works. Gets a little softer. Okay. Now we get to the really big advantage here. When we work with IK, what we can do is we can do funky things with the hips without the feet going nuts. So at the contact position, we probably wanted to just move forward a little bit and maybe just have it there, maybe just there. Put a key there, put a key there. Note that when I shift over here, I use the middle mouse button, because if I use the left mouse button, it will update. But if I use the middle mouse button, I'll go to a different frame, but it doesn't update the animation. So if I left click drag, you can see the animation will calculate. If I middle mouse button drag, I just go to a different frame but have the same pose. So that's a nice little trick to how you can copy keyframes. So you say, okay, I want this keyframe at 25, so just middle click 25, and then I can start making keys. Go to 13, the same thing here, maybe like so. Put a key in that. And then perhaps this frame a few frames later, I wanted to like flip over. And the same thing over here, I wanted to like flip over, there. And if everything is as it's supposed to be, you'll have the shoulders opposing the hips. Actually, we should do the whole spine, but I'm lazy today. So we will do this, put that there, and at 25 and 13 we'll do it the other way. Yeah, let's see how that works. A little stiff. But that's the problem with not doing the spine, right? And perhaps I'm doing this a little. So he's trying desperately to get home. But we could also just start softening the spine movement here. Just go grab that and grab that. And then just turn it over a little bit. Key there. And then here, we should probably turn it back a little bit. Key there, middle click there. There we should be sort of there, and then maybe here we should have it all the way. So now he'll be, it's a little better. It's a little stiff. Some of this stiffness comes from the way the curves are. So we saw the curves the other day. Go to Graph Editor. And actually, when you're working on a cycle like this, there's a little trick that is kind of nice to use. Go to View, turn on Infinity. You can see that will give you like a pre and post graph. So right now it's just straight lines. If I then select my curves here, and I go to Curves and say Post Infinity, Cycle. So it'll show us what the cycle looks like over here. And I can do the same thing here, go Pre-Infinity, Cycle. So what you're seeing when things start to jump around is basically this. You can see this is, it's not smooth. So what I can do here is start smoothing that out. I have to do it at both ends, obviously. So something like this. So it's a little smoother. But I would have to do that on all my curves, of course. Yes. Something like that. maybe this one. So, no, this is smooth by default, so that's good. This one, that's smooth by default. So I think a lot of the hard things, it's slightly softer now, still has probably on this thing here. It's because I have this really hard rotation here that makes it go nuts. So maybe if I lower that a little bit, make it just half the amount. There, so it's not so bad anymore. And then change this to 24. So it's a little better now. Still a little stiff. Good. Anyway, you get the idea. The important part is the IK handles and how to use those, and then you can experiment with making weird walks. Actually, the funny thing here is if you go to one of these in-betweens, that's where you can do crazy stuff. Like grab this thing here and maybe move it over here, like so, and press the T key and move that down there. So this is going to be quite crazy. Set a key on that one, and that would be frame 16 for the other one. So take that one, take that one, and move that across, and then press the T key and move that, T key, move that down. Oh, that was too far. I need to move it back a little bit. There we go. Put a key in that. So this will probably look quite weird and strange, right? But you can experiment with what you do by working on the in-betweens, because you have like 1, 7, 13, 19, and 25 that are like the backbone of your walk. And what you then do in the breakdowns 4, 10, 16, and 22 is sort of up to you. Or you can do it at different frames, but that's just the equal division of the walk. So, yep, go for it. Stop.